I have been reading a book by a man called Abraham the Geese, and I probably would never have found him except that I managed to have a really interesting conversation with a friend on my podcast, Mindy Kaika. Mindy, thank you so much for dropping that tip during our conversation. It caused me to go looking for Abraham's book. And I'm still in the very early stages of the book, but I can see why you've fallen in love with his body of work. Abraham is certainly someone with a diverse background, and I'm someone who likes to experience diverse cultures, meet different people, travel different places, experience what that place could be like or what that culture could be like, and learning from them in a way that adds to my own faith and my own journey. So I began reading his book, and it's called The Covenant of Water, and there is another book called Cutting Stone. This particular book was actually on Oprah's book club, so it appears to be a favorite with the people out there. Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel, The Elegance of Souls. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please click that subscribe button. My name is Ekanem and I'm your host. So on The Elegance of Souls, we love to encourage you on your journey. We love to explore the different challenges that we could possibly face on the journey of life and give you some tools to support you in growing and flourishing on that journey. I've been thinking about how we set the tone in our lives on a day-to-day basis. I'm a finance professional, but I'm also a single mom. So I've got a family that I'm growing, and I've also got a business that I'm growing. I'm also an author. So there are many different hats that I might wear and different challenges I might face on a day-to-day basis. And what I've discovered on the journey is that our tone is very instrumental in helping us to influence in those different spaces. I find that setting the tone is a really good way of helping in the space of influence. So on this video, I'll be talking about some of the things that have helped me and some of the things that are sort of like pointers in guiding you through that journey of setting tone. So when we think about just the script of life, every day is a new day, and every day you have the opportunity to add to your story, your unique story. And one of the big things that helps with that is setting the right tone. Tone is also heavily influenced by our boundaries, letting people know the kind of things that we're able to do or want to do, the kind of places we want to be involved in, the kind of activities that we want to take part in is really about setting clear boundaries. And we don't always have to speak in order to set our boundaries. Our boundaries can be very clearly communicated by our actions or simply the tone that we have cultivated over time. Instrumental in helping you set those boundaries or shift those boundaries are people, and the people that are closest to you. So I'm talking about your family, I'm talking about your friends, your children, if you have them, your spouses or partners. I'm talking about your colleagues. These are the people that have access to you and can actually make an impact on the boundaries that you set on a day-to-day basis. In terms of setting tone, you want to be very, very careful about the people around you, how they are impacting the boundaries that you have decided you want to set for your life. One of the things you need to understand with setting tone is that there's some things that you do that help to set that tone. So when I think, for example, in my home and caring for my child, we have to get up early in the morning, get to school, I need to get to work. And in that space, there's a kind of tone that needs to be set. And let's be very honest, sometimes it can get really chaotic in the morning. But I find that being able to set a tone, for example, having that morning devotional time, maybe having some music playing that helps to soothe the atmosphere, maybe ensuring that there's no TV at that time that might, cause any anxieties, maybe if you're watching the news or something. There's so many little things actually that we don't even realize are helping us set tone on the journey. So tone helps to provide guidance, and this helps to set boundaries in a conversation or a given situation. Albert Mirabian has done some work on communication, and he says that 7% are our words, 38% our tone, and 55% is our body language. Now, I don't know about you, but that is a really stark difference between words, tone, and body language. So imagine if you're not actually physically having a conversation with someone, that means the conversation is going to weigh heavy on tone compared to the words that you're actually communicating. And so we do need to be aware of how important our tone is when we go into a situation, when we go into a conversation. Some key things that could help you consider how you set tone are: 1, food. So very often, if you have not eaten, you could be a bit grumpy going into a situation, or if you've eaten too much, you might feel a bit lazy. Yes, the entertainment you indulge in affects your tone, it affects your voice, the music you listen to, and even the relationships that you cultivate on a regular basis. All these things affect your tone. So here are 5 tips for setting a new tone in any given situation or relationship that you might be in right now. Number 1 is cultivate a better understanding of yourself and what you're trying to communicate or achieve in that relationship. Because if you haven't understood what you're trying to do, it's going to be hard to persuade anybody else. Number 2, identify the things that persuade the mind that you're working on. So try to have some kind of understanding of the person or people that you're speaking to. For example, going into an interview, you're trying to convince them that you are suitable for the job, right? So you want to have a good understanding of the organization you'll be working with. You want to know the roles of the people who are actually in that panel interview. You want to know their background so that you can tune your answers to align with their own understanding of the role that you're applying for. Number 3 is take ownership of the outcome. Now, whatever the outcome is, you do need to take ownership, good or bad. But the starting point for taking ownership is understanding the motive behind what you're actually doing. Number 4, cultivate your emotional intelligence. And this is often overlooked so many times. I have a 10-year-old boy going to be 11 this month, and it surprises me at that age how emotionally aware and intelligent he is compared to how emotionally intelligent I was at that age. And what I find is that it makes him a lot more vocal about communicating his feelings and what he's expecting from a given situation and why he is reacting a certain way. And number 5 is identify 2 of the tone setting ideas I've given you in this video and apply them on a regular basis. So consider your food intake, what you're eating, when you're eating, consider your entertainment activities, consider the music you're listening to, and consider your relationships. All these things will help you set a better tone in a given situation or season. I hope that blesses you on your journey to you.